Indiana Jones. It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. Indiana Jones. Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute. This is the podcast where we get to the heart of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, 1 minute at a time. I'm Tom Taylor.
I'm Pete Mummert.
I'm Jerry Porter.
And I'm Chris Eliopoulos.
Welcome, Chris.
Hey.
That's Mr. Eliopoulos to you.
Welcome, Mr. Eliopoulos. I apologize.
Doll.
Dr. Eliopoulos, I'm sorry.
You can call me Shorty.
Okay. Welcome, Shorty. We're glad to have you back. This is exciting and gross and disturbing, isn't it?
Best thing to be.
Sure. This is obviously, you can tell from what we're saying, this is minute 65 of Temple of Doom, which begins with a wheelman eagerly lowering the guy-filled cage into the lava pit, and it ends with the chains starting to bring the cage back up.
Now, I know this is kind of generally Jerry's bailiwick, and I hope I'm not really stepping on his toes.
Or his bailiwick.
Yeah, or his, definitely don't want to step on that.
Mola Ram took that off earlier. Took his bailiwick off.
In my country.
I'm Jerry Porter.
My name is Jerry Porter. Mola Ram starts to chant here, and it sounds exactly like he's saying, "Bud, eat gelato." And I can never listen to this without hearing that. And I think it suddenly made sense, though, because when Indy gets on the elephant in Mayapur village, he's like, "Andiamo, andiamo." And so I think Mola Ram's in it with the villagers, and he heard about that, and he's just making fun of him. So he's bringing up the Italian ice cream reference.
Italian gibberish so that Indy will be appeased. That's funny. Wow. I buy it.
That's my bailiwick, huh?
Yeah.
That's how the world sees me.
Yeah. You're some dummy who hears English all the time. That's you, Jer. I want to say just at the start that this is, I find this minute and what happens in it far, far more upsetting than the guy getting his heart ripped out. I think this is like the most violent part of the movie.
Oh,
like the guy
yeah.
just like, I mean, you know, not to cut to the middle of the minute, but just like it is screaming and and he bursts into flames and he sees what's going to happen. Like they linger on it for like, you know, a full minute, like not even counting like before he goes down in the pit and stuff. And it's really like, you know, we had this is Larry. This is like a nice guy. He like seems like a nice, you know, scared, innocent guy. Like we had like Nazis who were destroyed by God and raiders who totally deserved it. They were all jerks. But even their thing was like super swift. It happened like within like less than a minute. And this guy, his death and imminent death is like lingering for like a minute. And it's weird that we're, I don't know. I mean, it's not like going to give me nightmares, but it's weird that we linger on this death for so long and like almost take like some kind of weird satisfaction out of it or something. It's strange.
You know, I completely agree. I mean, I know we're only halfway through the movie, but I can safely say this is the most intense and frightening minute of the movie. 65. Yeah, and especially if you're watching this 1 minute at a time, you know, this is actually god awful. And I feel like, you know, did you guys notice the fiery bits of ventricle dropping off the heart?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's just so much. I mean, it's so intense, and it makes you wonder, like, you know, Spielberg and Lucas are like 12-year-old sociopaths.
Right. Yeah, just how bitter were they when they were
Exactly. They're like, is that their ex-wives going down in the pit, like in the cage, or? Yeah. I mean, is that what they? Yeah, that's their bank accounts being lowered into them after bitter divorces.
Right. California divorce law. There you go.
It's
Up
just
in flames.
Really brutal this minute. I don't know why, but I had the same reaction as you, Tom.
Well, this was the minute that made you freak out in the teaser trailer too.
Ooh, me?
Yeah.
No, Jerry. I remember he said
Oh.
this made him really anxious watching this when they showed the guy screaming.
Oh yeah, and it's like over the end credits of the teaser too.
Yeah.
It's like, meanwhile, you're like, oh, by the way, like a guy gets burned to death
Yeah.
in a lava thing.
I have to say though, like in a movie that's had some sort of questionable special effects, this lava vortex looks incredible.
Yeah.
Like they really nailed it.
And even the the guy turns a little fakey when he finally turns into flames, but again, kind of like not Sonny, the other guy, the other son of Lao Che who gets stabbed with the pigeon flambe.
Oh,
Chen?
like just
Calcon?
like he wasn't fake, but he looked fake in the same jerky kind of way that this guy does now, where it's like clearly a puppet of some kind and it's like moving in a slightly unnatural way, but that reads to my 13-year-old in 1984 mind like, oh, that's what like evil violence looks like. It's got a weird jerky fakiness to it. 'Cause that's like how the effects always work in all these movies. So it's kind of effective in that weird way.
I just think this is where it all goes wrong. Well,
In what way?
I mean, in the movie, in the sense that it becomes about a lot of killing, a lot of violence towards innocent people. Like these poor kids are getting destroyed down below, and I think this is where we first start to see it, and this is where it really starts to get dark for this movie. Like this is where they basically went down this path and just really went in the wrong way. But
Yeah, and like they've been trying to balance whatever darkness was in the movie already with like goofy monkey brains and stuff, but then I think that kind of stops for like the next hour or something, doesn't it? It's all just pretty like, oh boy. Like I remember watching, I watched this, before we started recording this whole part of the podcast, and I hadn't seen it in like 20 years or something. I was like, and around this part, I was like, gosh, they're in the Temple of Doom for like almost the rest of the movie, aren't they?
Yeah.
This is like kind of a dark underground scary movie. It's kind of grim.
Well, and I think Mola Ram is a serial killer. Like just a straight up serial killer.
Like he just fakes this religion so they can bring him people to kill.
no, he doesn't like Fruit Loops.
Yeah, I would say that guy really destroys his breakfast every morning.
Yeah.
I mean, he has this orgasmic explosion when Larry is immolated.
Yeah.
And then, like, immediately afterwards, he's smoking a cigarette. And it's like the music stops and the temple comes to a standstill. And it just, I don't even know if this is about religion for him. Yeah, because I've had to watch this minute 65 several times, and it's really freaky, and he's really just, I mean, he's over the top excited about this, and then the heart bursts into flame, and he starts laughing maniacally. And
Is that your bailiwick, or you're just happy to see me?
it was a type of laugh, actually, though, Pete, that I know that you would love.
Oh, I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Shades of Belloc.
That is, actually.
Oh, so wait, you're saying that he's not talking about gelato, but what is he saying? Did you say that already and I missed it?
Oh, I don't know what he's actually saying here. I don't know
okay.
what the actual things. Yeah, I couldn't find a translation for that.
Probably is gelato.
I will say his arm is so fake, it's not even funny.
Oh, Malaram's arm?
Yeah, when he's holding it up and the heart bursts into flames, it is so fake and plastic, it's not even funny.
I'm just looking at that right now. I was actually going to say, oh, that's kind of impressive. It looks like a real arm. But no, I'll go with you because it's funnier.
Oh, it's awful. Well, you can see because he moves and the
yeah.
arm just stays still.
You're absolutely right. Just as you were saying that, I like unpaused and I was like, oh, wait a minute. Never mind.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm
That's
watching
funny.
and like the heart is, as the guy descends towards the lava pit, like the heart starts beating faster and faster and faster.
Right.
And I'm wondering, like, is it possible to have a cardiac arrest with your heart outside your body?
I think that's the definition of a cardiac arrest.
Yeah, really. He's been in cardiac arrest for like a minute and a half now.
But it's not. That's it. It's not really a rest.
It's cardiac unrest.
Why didn't they give Larry some of the collie blood to kind of tranquilize him?
Maybe they did. That's why he was so sedate.
Maybe that's why he's relaxed or semi-relaxed.
No, that would have been something like the goddess of compassion would have done.
Like
right.
collie, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm looking at minute 65. That's one of my notes. Kali is the goddess of compassion, right?
In fairness, she is also the goddess of destruction.
Now you tell me.
She wears a lot of hats and a lot of arms.
A lot of skulls. I have a question about the lava pit, because it is a cool lava pit and it's very effective, and it looks hot and scary. But like, there's a whole like, I wonder why they have to. I'm nitpicking, but why do they have to like have that trap door and stuff going into that pit where there's actually like an open pit between like him and the congregation and stuff? Like, why? And why do they have to have the cage? Like, why do they have to lower him in? And they just
kick
like
him
give
over
him
the
a
side.
Yeah, give him a kick to the butt, you know, and just toss him over. Boot butt.
Well, you know, I was going to say, I'm glad you brought that up, because when it comes to human sacrifice as a ritual or a spectacle, I'm noticing some simple design flaws in this Temple of Doom. And that was one of them is exactly what you said here, Tom. You know, when the guy descends down into the lava vortex, no one can see him.
Right.
So he's far removed from the ceremony, you know, and I'm thinking I would have placed a railing around the top of the lava pit so that the parishioners could feel more connected with the ritual.
Yeah. Unless there are mirrors on the ceiling.
That would have been simple enough, yeah. Just do that.
Or just like somebody said, you know, they're like a Jumbotron sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can't watch him down, all they just see is he goes down, and that's that. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Mola Ram can look in and some of the altar boys, but other than that, I mean, it's not, that's what I mean. It's a design flaw, especially when you have, you know, human sacrifice as a spectacle.
Yeah. It probably reads a lot more like a magic show or something, like, hey, I cut him in half. Oh my gosh. You know, like, the cage comes back. Hey, he's not in the cage anymore. What could have happened? Oh my God.
See, it is Vegas.
Pete, I love that you mentioned that. It's totally true.
Well, and they are doing it for a little kid, so this is exactly the kind of magic you would do for a little kid. You're like, oh, he went in the hole. He burned up in lava.
Oh, there's a heart behind your ear. Oh.
Well, how far down is the lava whirlpool from the altar? Like 100 feet?
Huh. I don't know.
Like, and at what point does it start to hurt?
That's the thing. That's what always bugs me. It seems like he should have burst into flames a lot sooner.
Well, when does he burst into flames? Everybody get in your sleeping bags.
Okay.
When is it, like 15 feet above the lava?
No, he looks like he's a lot farther than 15 feet above.
Okay.
Yeah, but I still feel like, I mean, I don't know. Well, you know what? This actually bugs me less here than it does later on with Willie. I think the timing of that is weirder. But yeah, I think he. What was the question?
How far? No, how far down, or how far above the lava is he before he, you know, turns into a human conflagration?
But the lava's also spitting up, so like he could have caught like a spit of fire and then just caught on fire. But
yeah, but even wouldn't just like the heat itself, like just when you get even like, you know, 50 feet away from like molten lava, I think that would like.
But Willie seems to get a lot closer than he does with no.
Yeah,
ill
that's what
effects.
bugs me. Yeah.
Hey, I'm looking at second 37 right now, and I'm sticking with 12 feet, 15 feet.
Oh,
But
really?
he's on fire way above that.
Yeah, okay.
He's already-
Yeah,
yeah,
it
he's
is
already
on
on fire.
fire. Yeah,
Like second
that's
30
true.
already, he's on fire, and he's still got a long way to go.
and not for nothing, Gollum like survived for a couple like seconds in that.
That's true. That's true. He didn't
Yeah,
even
you're
like
right.
blister or anything.
No, he just kind of melted slowly away.
Yeah.
Well, we've got Indy does some retroactively good parenting here.
Fine.
After everything has happened and the show's just as it's
Yeah.
over and Mola Ram's walking off the stage, he grabs Shorty and yanks him back so he can't see.
Look out! Nothing's happening. There's nothing to see.
And you're like, he can't see what? The guy's already in the lava
right.
pit.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
see a heart on fire. I mean, that's like catching your kid watching porn and waiting till it's over before you tell him to stop looking.
Right. Now we have a teachable moment. Now that you got 5 minutes into that thing.
Well, no, I mean, yeah. I mean, Mola Ram, that's why I thought like serial killer. He has this orgasmic high.
Yeah, he does seem
I-
sort
I
of
mean,
spent
yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah,
Yeah. He's
like,
totally.
I'm gonna go lay down.
Yeah.
But then the whole minute reads that way. It's like the temple chills out and the music mellows out, and yeah.
And the place empties out fast. Like
Yeah.
Like everyone's.
Well, they're all on like kitchen duty back at the palace. They gotta get back.
But it's like there's no like extra hymn afterwards, or no one has to stay for like an offering or anything.
Yeah.
It's just like they're done.
Yeah.
No exit procession or anything.
There's no
Yeah,
like
no, like greet
donuts.
your neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
donuts and coffee.
Coffee, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love donuts and coffee right now. That'd be so nice.
It's like David Blaine just got out of the ice. You know, it's like, all right, I'm done. I'm going home.
Yeah.
Like, he's done. He did his magic trick. He's going to go now.
He's got, take all his gear off.
All right, I'll do the joke that we were talking about, in which I'll say, we're finally at Malta or Molten. So
Molten Malta.
close, right? It was close.
That's
works.
good. Yeah,
I like it.
So Jerry was right. Like all those years ago, back on the island,
Yes.
looking for Malta. He was looking for Molten.
You're just looking for Molten. Yeah.
Back when he still had his bailiwick.
Thank you very much. And what do you think it's like? What does Mola Ram do on off hours? Like, does he just kind of like sit in his dressing room and like go on Twitter? Like, what does he do when he doesn't like have the hat on with the horns? And like, this is the first time we see him. We don't really know who he is or what he's doing and what his life is like outside of this.
Well, he is a very like Darth Vader like character, and like you can't imagine him doing anything except what you see him doing on screen. To me.
Right.
Yeah.
He's not like, filing the church's taxes or anything. Or,
I think it's
Yeah, like typing up the bulletin.
I think it's couples counseling for the parishioners. I mean, I know we don't see any women, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I think it's just kind of like, I suppose, it would be sort of the equivalent to, I don't know, office hours, or he's basically at the rectory.
right.
For Tom or you Catholics out there, he's at the rectory, and you can go see him, and you can talk about like, look, things are slowing down at home, and
Larry didn't come home.
You have to show her a little attention once in a while.
yeah, exactly.
Let her know you care. Do the laundry once in a while. Show her that you care.
I told her she should join the choir and that sort of thing, except that you guys don't admit females into the choir, and so that didn't work out.
Yeah, does the Temple of Doom have like confessionals and stuff?
I
Is
think
he, like,
it
sitting in-
does.
Yeah, maybe.
Forgive me, Mola Ram, for I have sinned. Does he like have like I don't know, like a treadmill in the back that he just kind of keeps in shape on? And
Could be. He's looking pretty.
come on,
He is
I
in
mean,
pretty good
solid.
shape for
yeah, like
Yeah, absolutely. Does he keep like aloe vera behind the, for those burns, those wicked
Yeah.
burns?
It's got to happen sooner or later. The burns.
I know. Now I'm like totally interested in what this guy's life is all about. Because
Yeah.
he's been living in a lava pit for like how many years now?
Yeah, that's what's weird. We don't really know. Like, does the shaman say anything about when like the darkness came over the land and stuff? Like, how long has this temple been reactivated and like repopulated and stuff? We don't really know.
Going on the clues of like the smoldering,
Yeah.
in the village, whether it's a week or 2 weeks,
Oh, right.
3
Yeah.
weeks, the smoldering fires. So
Yeah.
I guess a month.
Yeah, but that's just that village. They could have been scouring other villages all along.
That's
and getting
true.
kids.
This seems
I
like
mean,
this seems like this operation's pretty underway, like kind of full steam.
Although all the kids are pretty young, like they can't have been, unless they get rid of the kids after a certain age. They
except for
can't have-
Larry. Larry grew up
Except,
and out
yeah,
of the.
that's a good point. So there's like a separate part of the palace for Larry, all the Larrys.
Maybe.
It's very confusing. Does Mola Ram live under the palace, or does he live in the palace?
All of these people, where do they go? Is there
Yeah,
like a
where-
Starbucks on the side that they all go and have a cup of coffee afterward?
Yeah, you push on a naked statue at the back of the Starbucks, and you end up in
I'll
the
have the
Temple of
venti
Doom.
blood with a shot of caramel.
You think they always like he goes up and gives his order, and then they give his coffee. They're like Miller rum.
Molar rum, red rum.
I guess, we keep saying that it's under the palace, but I guess it's not.
Well, the entrance, the secret entrance, was sort of through there, right?
Yeah, we know it's underneath because Willie walks through that passage that's at the Flapestry level, and that's up above where they are.
Okay.
So they're under,
Oh, yeah.
like they're somewhat under.
Like, is there a secret part of the castle where they all hang out up top, and they come down for the rituals?
I don't know. We were
Because I mean, that was
theorizing
the
about
secret
that.
entrance. There has to be obviously a different entrance to get in
Yeah.
there.
Right. Like even just to get the big cages delivered and stuff like that. Like you're not going to do that through the naked statue.
Or is there
secret
just like
passage.
like in one side of the castle? There's like there's like an awning and a nice door, and like they just come in like regular. They file in.
Sure.
They have like those misters like they have down in the south outside that kind of keep them cool you off as you wait.
I believe they have like a vestibule, a foyer, and
And where are the bathrooms located?
Maybe just use the lava.
I have
pit.
so many questions.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Just go right in the lava. Perfect ecosystem.
Well, how close does the urine have to get before it catches fire?
That's the fun game you play.
Yeah.
Like have a contest with each other to like see who can jet it down there farther or something.
You're gonna put it out, Larry.
we've talked about the Madonna Inn relating to this movie before, and I'm just saying if you've ever been to the Madonna Inn, you'll get that reference.
Oh God.
They have a cave urinal that is a lot like this.
Oh, God,
yeah, well,
really?
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Sounds gross.
Yeah.
Said by the man who's probably been there and done it.
Well, do we have anything else for 65?
Oh wait.
Oh,
This just in
that's odd.
from Professor Christy Porter. She says, superfluous hat.
Well, yeah.
Molar arms?
Well, no, I think she's talking about indies. I think because, look,
Oh.
yeah, it's really hot there. There's no sun. There's no wind blowing. I mean, the only element I guess he's exposed to is like crippling heat.
Well, it's part of his stuff. He told Shorty to get his stuff.
You dress for the job you want, not for the one you have. So
Right.
I tried to tell her that.
He wants to be a lion tamer.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm still saying this is special lava though, because nobody is sweating. Indy's not sweating.
Yeah.
None of these guys in the crowd are. It's
Yeah. Well, also, like, the metal cage isn't melted by it or
Yeah.
anything. It's
Yeah.
You know what? I looked that up. I
Oh.
looked up. Yes, I did. I looked up like what is the temperature of lava, and it's around. It was anywhere like 1,400 degrees to like 2,200 degrees, and then that's Fahrenheit. And then I looked up at what temperature does iron melt, and it was like 2,800 degrees.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Huh.
So Pete mummered that.
wow.
Yeah, I looked it up because I was wondering. I mean, would the cage could it survive? That amount of heat? And the answer
Bizarro
is
podcast? Like we're backwards here. What's going on?
kick my bailiwick.
Right in the
Sank my battleship.
yeah. We started with my bailiwick. Well, that's your bailiwick, Pete.
So
Peter?
far, my bailiwick is unperturbed and undisturbed. Thank God.
God, how did we get down this road? What did I do to you guys?
You seem to be safe so far.
I apologize for totally destroying this podcast. in episodes.
You did what you had to do. No one can blame you.
I'm trying.
But thank you so much for joining us this week. This has been incredible.
Yeah.
It's always fun.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun. We've burned a man alive with his heart out of his body, and we owe that all to you, Chris.
Of course, it's all my fault. I'm terribly sorry. And who knows where next we'll meet? We don't know where India will be the next
Yeah.
time we meet. Not at
Yeah.
Malta, but somewhere.
Probably something else that you can make a Malta joke with. Probably if we try hard enough.
Malted
do
milk.
We'll see. We got some time to think about
We got a
Yeah.
malted milk joke going.
it. We should. But tell everybody again where they can find you online if they want to see what you're up to.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Chris Eliopoulos. And if you want to, if you're interested in running at all or Disney, I do a Run Disney podcast called Mickey Miles and More. So check me out over there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And Pete, where can people find us and follow us and and run after us.
Well, actually, you know what you could do that we would love? If you like the show, you could go onto iTunes, and if you haven't already, leave us a review, hopefully positive, but tell people what you think, and that actually helps the show quite a bit. And it's Friday, and there are lots of other podcasts out here that are doing kind of a similar thing that we do. If you want to check those out, you can go to moviesbyminutes.com, and you can find our friend Gizmo and Gremlins and Princess Bride, or even there's this crazy one about Caddyshack.
Weird. Who would do a minute-by-minute show about Caddyshack? It sounds very funny. I better check it out. And so should you. Oh, yeah, and go to TeePublic also and find our shirts. We got a bunch of Indiana Jones Minute shirts up there of various awesomeness. They're very cool. And you'll look cool in them. So do it. And please join us here next week as we continue our trek through the Temple of Doom here on the Indiana Jones Minute.
Buddy gelato, buddy gelato, buddy gelato, buddy gelato.
You had the echo.
That was amazing.
Really good.
Yeah, that was
I'm in the Holiday Inn breakfast room.
Not for long.
Not for long.